Dear students of Class 8, today's teaching Rajya Sabha. The Indian Legislature, your topic number is Indian Legislature, points to be taught. First point, number 1, Rajya Sabha. What is Rajya Sabha? Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the parliament. You know, in parliament there are two houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha is known as upper house and the Lok Sabha is known as lower house. The members of the Rajya Sabha are elected in two ways. A group of members are elected directly and some members are elected indirectly. Now, how many members are elected directly and how many members are elected indirectly? 230. How many members are there in the Rajya Sabha? There are 250 members in the Rajya Sabha. Out of 250 members, 238 members are elected directly. By whom? By the representatives or by the members of the lower house, by the member of the legislative assembly of different states. And rest 12 members, they are nominated by the President of India on the advice of whom? On the advice of the Prime Minister. So, these are the 250 members of the Rajya Sabha. They become member of the Rajya Sabha for a term of 6 years. But 1/3 of its members retire every 2 years. Besides, Rajya Sabha is known as the permanent house. Why? Because Rajya Sabha is never dissolved. Rajya Sabha is not dissolved. That's why Rajya Sabha also is known as the permanent house. Now, who is the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha? Who is the ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha? The Vice President is the ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. The Vice President is the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha. In presence of the Vice President, the debates and discussions in the House is discussed. Debates, discussions is all are done in presence of the Vice President of India. The Vice President presents there as the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha or the the president of the vice president present there in the capacity of presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha or ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. But another point is that the question is, this is the composition and to a nominated members. Now, what are the qualifications required to be the president of the Rajya Sabha? What are the minimum qualifications required to be the members of the Rajya Sabha? To be the members of the Rajya Sabha, a candidate has to fulfill the following qualifications. The candidate has to be qualified with the following qualities. Number 1, the candidate must have to be the age of 30 years. The candidate must have to be a candidate of 30 years of age. Second one, he must have to be a citizen of India. He or she must have to be a citizen of India. Last one, his name in the voter list must be registered as a voter of India. And other qualifications are, prescribed from time to time as per its requirement. So these are the qualifications required to be the members of the Rajya Sabha. And second one, Another point that is also important, that is tenure. The members of the Rajya Sabha, as I taught you earlier, they are elected or nominated for a term of 6 years, but one third of its members retired retired every 2 years. The Rajya Sabha is known as permanent house because why? Because the Rajya Sabha is not dissolved. That's why it is also known as the permanent house. Another name also Rajya Sabha is there. What is the name of it? Council of States. Rajya Sabha also is known as Council of States because the representatives of the Rajya Sabha means the members of the Rajya Sabha, they represent on behalf of their respective states or the union territories from where they are elected. As I taught you earlier, the members of the Rajya Sabha can become the member of it in two ways, by elected directly or by nominated by the President of India. How many members are elected directly? 230 members and 38 members. And how many members are nominated indirectly? 12 members. How many members are there in the Rajya Sabha? 250 members. Out of 250, 230 members are elected directly by the members of the legislative assembly and the union territories. So on behalf of their respective state, on behalf of their respective union territory and national capital region, the member of the Rajya Sabha, on being elected by them directly, they raise various issues, various problems, various questions on behalf of their respective state, respective national capital region or respective union territory. So these are the functions of the members of the Rajya Sabha who are elected directly. And those who are elected indirectly, the members, 12 members are elected indirectly, not elected. They are nominated by the President of India. By whom? Under whose advice? Under the advice of the Prime Minister of India. 12 members, they generally nominated from various fields of India, from literature, from arts, from science, from social science. Their contributions, they are actually nominated only because of their contributions. They are marvelous contributions in the field of art, in the field of literature, in the field of social services. They are generally nominated on the recommendation of the Prime Minister of India by the President. So and they are also nominated for a term of 6 years, and one third of its total members retire every 2 years. Now qualifications also I taught you. Now tenure also I told you. Now presiding officer, that point also I explained before you. That is, the Vice President is the ex-officio chairman of the House. The Vice President is the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha. In presence of him or her, all debates, discussions, meetings are done by the members of the Rajya Sabha. But the presiding officer has no right to vote any issue discussed in the House. He has no right to vote on any issue in the House. But during the time of tie, he or she can exercise his casting vote. This is the special right of the presiding officer or the Vice President of India in the House or in the Rajya Sabha. Now, sessions of the Rajya Sabha. Sessions of the Rajya Sabha. The Constitution provides various types of things like President summon. The Constitution provides the President to summon each House of Parliament from time to time to meet discussions, to meet various problems of the people and members with a gap of 6 months. So special session can be also called during an emergency period. And now quorum, which is known as quorum, the minimum number of members required to be present in the House or in the Rajya Sabha for conducting debates, discussions and other issues. That's why minimum member required to be present in the House is known as quorum. Now, quorum of Rajya Sabha is 1/10 of the total members of the House. 1/10. That means the members of the House is 250. So minimum 25 members are required to be present in the House to conduct debates, discussion or to take part in the debates, discussions of the House. This system is known as quorum. Up to this, my dear students, next day I shall teach you from another house of the Parliament, Lok Sabha. Thank you. To be very frank, I would like to improve one point, the points which I discussed. I'm writing it here. Point number 1, Rajya Sabha. Point number 2, procedure of election. The tenure qualifications. 5 tenure and 5 So these are the points I discussed, my dear students, before you. These are the points along, so you have to keep it in your mind. These are the points which I taught you. And last point was quorum. Spelling there, Quorum. 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 This is the last point I taught. Next day, I shall discuss on those. Thank you.